Hello and welcome to a state championship edition of Main Street Connect's FCIAC Football Fast 5. Everything you need to know about Fairfield County High School football, all in 5 minutes or less. With me, back again, bonus week, Kevin Jones, former Stanford High School head football coach and professional football scout for JL Sports. Kevin, we had another surprising day of games on Saturday. A tough loss for Norwalk, but Staples manhandles Newtown and New Canaan escapes. They just continue to surprise us all.
Yeah, and there was a time when Newtown was up in that game and everyone said, oh, what's going on here? But Staples came back and took care of business for us. And I think no one was surprised by the Norwalk game. And New Canaan obviously was the big surprise, getting back to the state championship for the sixth year in a row.
And they will try for their 5th title in 6 years. So let's get right to it. Tough loss for the Norwalk Bears, but a fantastic season for them. What a turnaround for the Bears this year. Kevin, has Norwalk laid the foundation to be a perennial contender?
Well, I think they've laid the groundwork. And the issue at a place like Norwalk, where you have 2 schools in town and kind of a lot of people moving in and out, is, players are what make you successful. Coaches can be great, but without players, we're useless. And I know the situation well, being at Stanford, a very similar school where kids can move in and out of their district, move in and out of town, and a lot of times Norwalk to Stanford is a big move. So you never really know who you're going to have from year to year. So is the foundation laid? Absolutely. If you're at Norwalk High School right now and you're not excited about playing football, there's something wrong with you. Who are they going to have? It's difficult at Norwalk to be successful year in and year out. Let's hope that the trend is changing.
All right, Kevin, you said at the beginning of the playoffs, if New Canaan could survive New London and Windsor, they'd be better matched up against Hand or Massac. They've got Hand. Is this now New Canaan's game to lose on Saturday?
Listen, what Hand did to Casey Cochran and Massac was pretty impressive. So I'm not giving this to New Canaan yet, right? They're going to have to win this game. But what I meant by that statement was they're going to be athletically better matched up with Hand. Now the problem is Hand is like looking in a mirror for New Canaan. And they can run 500 different schemes at you, and they can do a lot in short weeks. They have a nice long week to prepare here. I think both teams offensively are going to have a lot of different things that they're going to come out with in this game. Who's going to win? You and I talked about earlier, it might be the defenses that decide who wins this game, who can keep up with the changes they make on offense.
All right, question 3. Staples showed once again how multifaceted they are. 2 weeks ago, ran the ball down the throats of Richfield. Last week, just lit it up in the air against Newtown. Do they have the tools to finally crack Xavier? And remember, the last time Xavier lost, it was to Staples.
In the playoffs, as a matter of fact. I know Wilton High School's at that game, and it was a heck of a game. I think this one, too, is going to be one heck of a football game. Can they beat Xavier? Yeah, you don't go from having a tailback having 366 yards on a Tuesday night to throwing the ball for a win on Saturday unless, exactly like I said, they can do so much that they're tough to defend. And so they've got a great advantage over Xavier in that Xavier can't possibly prepare for all the things that Staples does. So can they win this game? Absolutely. Xavier likes to blitz a lot from everywhere and move their front and go. With the balance run-pass that Staples has, and with their option attack in the run game, it's going to force Xavier to balance up and play some base defense. And when that happens, then Staples can go in and score. And so they've got to take that blitz game and calm it down. And if they do that, they can win this game.
All right, so here we go. 2 championship games, Class L, New Canaan and Daniel Hand at 2 p.m. on Saturday, and Staples and Xavier at 5:30. So, what are going to be the wild card factors in these 2 championship games?
I think if you look at the L game, New Canaan versus Hand, both offenses are going to be dynamic. They can run 1,000 schemes at you. It's going to be an exciting game from that perspective. I think the X factor in that game is going to come down to which defense can step up and make the play. It's going to be late in the game, but which defense can step up and make plays is going to be the difference between winning and losing that Class L state championship. If you look at the other game, Staples versus Xavier, I think there's a big advantage with the Xavier offensive line, which is huge. It looks like a small college offensive line, going up against a slightly undersized Staples defensive line. So in those 2 games, those are the factors, those are the things that I would watch if I was at those games.
All right, and finally, give me your picks.
Well, you can never go against your pick. You make it early before the playoffs start, and you got to stick with it. But you know what? you can't stop me. It's my show. So I'm going to make this, I'm going to switch my pick, and I'm going to go with New Canaan. Why? Because they find a way to win every game, every week. It's so impressive. Very difficult for me to go against New Canaan right now because they will always find a way to win. And I think our friend is going to throw a little touchdown pass maybe with that 1 second left in the game and win that game. So I like New Canaan in the Class L. And I've been with Xavier, since the beginning of the playoffs. I'm going to stick with my pick, but I think this is going to be a heck of a game. Can come down final second, either one of these teams. Xavier is not going to run away with this game like they've been doing with all the other games. This is going to be a tough, hard-fought game. Not going to surprise me if Staples wins, but I'll stick with my pick in Class L.
Alright, so that'll do it. One last weekend of football. Join us next week for our season finale. We'll recap the season and hand out our postseason awards. Until next time, I'm Eric Gendron.